Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right. And you tuned into another episode of the Viewers Anonymous podcast, where we give you our very own reviews and takes of movies and TV straight out of Hollywood. Before we get into it, make sure you guys go to all of our socials. Hit us up on X. Hit us up on Instagram at ViewerNonPod. Hit us up on Facebook, VA Pod Watch Group. Make sure you go like, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell on YouTube, Viewers Anonymous, and join our Patreon. Patreon.com/Viewers Anonymous. Become a viewer. And how you doing today, brother?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. Just out here in the world, man, trying to survive, man. Still trying to figure out this thing that we call life, man.
Amen. Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Look, if you know anybody who know the answers,
good luck with that. You won't be finding them. If you know anybody that know the answers, you ain't got them as issue. Just know that.
Man. Nah, but I'm all right, man. I'm telling you, man, like it's especially, dude, I know we didn't talk about it. I know I mentioned it to you, but man, when I tell you I got engulfed into that cross on Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man, don't
say nothing about it, man.
Oh, I already did a pod on it and everything, but that hey, it's fire.
I already know. Fire. I done had to get off TikTok because I ain't been seeing nothing but clips. I done had to get off Facebook because all my family members keep talking about it. I've been trying not to block people on Twitter. I done had to get off Twitter, so I'm like, man, let me just go ahead and start this joint.
Yeah, man. So, because I was telling you that I've been getting into a lot of stuff, but I've been watching 1-2 episodes, jump to something else, jump to something else. Man, I started watching it, knocked it out in 2 days.
See, I don't see how you do that, man. I honestly don't see how you do that.
Man, I
gotta watch it all the way through.
Well, the thing for me, this is the thing. You got a wild sleeping schedule. This is the one thing that we know.
That's true.
So now it just got to the point where it was about
I just got that. Respect. It wasn't me, man. I promise you it wasn't me, bro. Listen, whatever y'all do, bro, don't eat Chinese food in the middle of the day. I don't know what they put in it. I don't know how they make it, but it's like worldwide. Whenever you eat Chinese food, bro, you're going down. You're going down. There's nothing I could. You're going down, bro.
That's funny, but nah, man. Like, yeah, I had knocked that junk out, man. So, but you know, overall though, I'm good, man. Honestly, I'm ready to get this. We are already starting to talk about what the holiday schedule about to look like, and that's why I do. I'm ready for January, man. I'm ready for January.
Me and you both.
I'm ready to just get this over with. But how about you though, man? How you feeling and how everything going?
Oh man, everything going good, man. I've been working like crazy. Like I said, man, I've been trying to get this money back from getting my damn fuel pump. Yeah, man. I've been delivering everything, okay? I done delivered all kind of shit with DoorDash, man. And they are whooping my ass. I've been all across Ohio, you damn near. Man, I went to this suburb in Ohio. It's called Union, Ohio. Man, I went to that goddamn suburb, bro. I did not know these motherfuckers so it's like a house, and then it's like a empty lot, but it's like a gate around it. So I'm pulling up, nigga. They got horses inside the gate. I'm like, nigga, they got some money. Cause I know in Ohio, if you got horses or if you got farmland, you got some money. You making it all right. So I was like, damn. So I seen that. And I've also been trying to find routes around everything because right now in Ohio, everything is being fixed. Every road is being fixed. It's being turned into some type of turnstile or circle or some bullshit they making up. So it's been heavy traffic every goddamn where. It's been a hassle, man.
Yeah.
But today's episode is no hassle. Today's episode is going to be nothing but laughs and joy and just pure fucking fun. Today we are covering probably one of the most, I don't want to say underrated, but most underappreciated comedies of all time. Today we are doing Tropic Thunder. Let me bring this up real quick. My apologies for not being prepared like I should have been, but Tropic Thunder, it was released in 2008 with an R rating. It stars Jack Black. It stars Robert Downey Jr., Brandon T. Jackson, Ben Stiller, Jay, I want to say is Bruchelle or Baruchel. I want to say it's Bruchelle. It might be Baruchel, but it got Tom Cruise in it. It has Bill Hader, Danny McBride. Nick Nolte is in it as well. And it's pretty much a movie about a bunch of actors who are filming this book adaptation, and it is the whole thing is failing. So the director decides to take them into a place to make it more realistic for the movie, and basically everything goes to shit within this whole process. So I want to start off with the beginning of the film. Okay. Got to start off with the beginning of the film because it's very crucial to understand what's going on in this movie at the beginning of the film. So before everything even kicks off, a commercial pops up. And
what is the trailer? It's trailer.
No. It's a commercial before the trailers.
Oh, the commercial. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's Brandon T. Jackson as Al Pacino, and he is basically promoting his energy drink and his candy bar. So his song is talking about how much he loves the pussy, and his drink is called Booty Sweat, and his candy bar is Bust a Nut. So after you get through that, then you get Jack Black's movie trailer. Jack Black is Jeff Portnoy in this film, and it's Jeff Portnoy's trailer for Meet the Fatties, Fart 2, not Part 2, Fart 2. And it's basically just a movie about a bunch of fat people farting. and then you get into Kirk Lazarus movie, which is played by Robert Downey Jr., called Satan's Alley. Now, to me, I know the first two are supposed to make you laugh, but if Satan's Alley don't make you laugh, that shit is hilarious. It is starring Kirk Lazarus, who is a 5-time Oscar nominated and winner, and Best Kiss MTV Movie Award, Tobey Maguire. Now, Tobey Maguire has hella accolades, but in this trailer, his only accolade is that he won Best Kiss for the MTV Movie Awards. I thought that shit was fucking hilarious, bro. That shit made me laugh hard as shit. And then it goes into the actual film. So no, I'm forgetting one. I'm forgetting Tug. What's his last name? Tug Speedman. Horrible name. Tug Speedman in Scorcher 6. No, Scorcher 7?
Man, I forgot how many scorches it was.
Because he saved the world from being stopped the first time, and then he did it again, and then he did it again, and then again. I want to say it's Scorcher 7, but this time in Scorcher 7, the world freezes, and that shit was funny too. So those are like the four guys that all of this shit is centered around. And so they're filming this movie in Vietnam. And it's supposed to be about a book called Tropic Thunder about these four guys in this group of guys in Vietnam who basically was in the shit, and then they ended up saving their sergeant. This nigga's name, hold on, what is I forgot what this nigga's name is. It's 4-Leaf Tayback. Okay, Sergeant 4-Leaf Tayback. They had went back to save Sergeant 4-Leaf Tayback and escape the brutal onslaught during Vietnam, and that is the premise of this whole joint. So, starting off, where do you want to start this joint?
Oh my god, but I don't know where to start. Now let's start with for what we talk about off air, like this type of comedy, right? Like, yeah, we don't get this anymore. It's like the PC of everything. People are afraid to, say certain things and stuff like that. Now, great example. So Tug Speedman got a movie where there's a whole little where it's brought back in multiple different ways. Yeah. So it's brought back in different ways, right? But there was a conversation that was had between him and Kurt.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He was like,
you don't go full retard, man. You don't go full retard. You gotta dial it back. God damn it. That's how you win the Oscar. Remember Sam I Am? Remember, was it Sean Penn, Sam I Am? He went full retard. He didn't get nominated not once.
Yo, but I'm talking about, but they say we can't say that word anymore. Even though it's in the dictionary,
absolutely,
and it's an actual term.
Absolutely.
But it's like when you use like this type of comedy, right?
Yes.
It, for some odd reason, it has fell to the wayside. So we're not getting movies like, Tropic Thunder, Pineapple Express, even that whole little thing. You know what I'm saying?
Pineapple Express is crazy.
And Ben Stiller kind of sat it down, but he did like the Zoolander and stuff like that. Even Average Joe's, like we're not getting things like that anymore.
Yeah.
And so the essence of this movie and what I enjoyed going back and watching it was obviously like this is the Ben Stiller movie. He directed it, he starred in it, but I'm sorry, man. Robert Downey Jr. stole the show.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Completely stole the show. And I like the setup where they was like, talking about how great of an actor he was and all this type of stuff, but they was like, he's going full, whatever for this movie.
He did a skin procedure That nigga said, y'all saddle up, get ready to cuddle in. You know what I'm saying? I could I could collar some of them greens. You know what I'm saying? Go nuzzle in the pot for some of these crawfish.
Yo, his whole character. I'm talking about the whole movie.
Hey, bro. That nigga Brandon T. Jackson, bro. That nigga got sick of that shit. That nigga said, hey, man. He was like, what's up with all this sucking the job and shit you doing, huh? He said, we done with the movie. He said, why can't you get out of character? He said, I don't know, why can't I? That motherfucker said, you doing all this bullshit. He said, you sit up here talking about, He was like, yeah. He was like, something. What he said? He was like, how about I go to, he said, you from Australia, Kangaroo Jack? He said, hey, man. He said, that shit ain't funny. And then he said, why don't I put another...
No, he said Crocodile Dundee.
He said Crocodile Dundee. He said, hey. That man's a national treasure. Then he said, something, Kangaroo Jack. He said, hey, no, he said, hey, that's not funny. And he said, why not put another shrimp on the barbie? He was like, oh, you crossing lines. And then he said, I don't know, maybe a dingo ate your baby. That nigga said, hey, it's a true story. The lady lost a kid. That nigga, hey, bro, let me tell you something. I am 100% against blackface and all that other shit. But it's a point in time, bro, where certain shit is just done properly, and when it's in the guise of comedy, it's okay. That shit, everything about Robert Downey Jr. character is fucking hilarious. Nobody is going to complain about this shit, bro. He's not doing nothing offensive. He's not saying nothing crazy. He just being like, if you even just watch him, you can tell he just studied old black dudes to do this, bro. Because he's nothing but he's just an old ass black dude.
And when he said no, when they dropped him off, when they first dropped him off, right? And
yeah.
So he was putting them like the cell phones and shit. Him was it? Ain't got no cell phone. It's 1969.
he said they ain't had no cell phones back in 1969. No, when that nigga said, I'm sick of this motherfucking kangaroo hopping ass nigga, and he was like, hey, he smacked him. And that nigga was about to punch him. He said, that word has held us back for 400 years. And then he started reciting the lyrics to fucking the Jeffersons. He said, man, that's the Jeffersons theme song. He said, just because of the theme song don't mean it ain't true. I started fucking rolling, bro. He said, just because of the theme song don't make it not true. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. That shit was funny as a motherfucker, bro. You talk about straight comedy. Yes, you are right, bro. Robert Downey Jr. steals the fucking show with this one, bro. I mean, it's one of those things where if you just seen it, like nowadays, I don't know if he could do that. Right?
No,
with everything being politically correct and woke and all that other stuff they say, but like then when you talking about just plain old funny, bro, like it was one of those things where when he did it, you had like, especially when you seen the trailer, you was like, I don't know about this. And then when you seen it, it was like, nah, he did all right with that one. He did all right. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad at all. But that shit was fucking comedy.
Yeah, not at all. Ben Stiller said, no, Tug Speedman said, he said, man, I don't know what's wrong with you people. Hey, you mean you people? Hey, what do you mean?
And he said, huh? Hey, bro, that's the best part about all that shit. He had all the old black man shit down. He wasn't saying shit. That nigga said, huh? That shit was funny as fuck, bro. That shit was funny as fuck. No, let me tell you the funniest part of this movie is, and probably nobody thought this shit was funny but me. Bro, when they went to go save fucking Tug Speedman, bro, and that nigga went back for the little nigga that he thought was his son, and then he came and ran back, and the nigga was stabbing him in the back with the knife, and he took that motherfucker, and he threw that motherfucker into the river. Oh my God, bro. No, the best part of it though, that ain't the funny part. It's funny, but it ain't the funniest part. The funniest part is at the end when they doing like the recap of everything that happened, and then they re-show that part, and then when he throw him and they show the little nigga like full body spread out, and then they freeze it, bro. I was fucking crying, bro. That shit is fucking hilarious, bro. Oh my goodness, you talking about fucking comedy, bro. This shit is fucking silly. First off, I want to talk about this, right? Because I just recently found this out. So if anybody don't know, Danny McBride, Ben Stiller, Bill Hader, a bunch of guys from like Saturday Night Live, Jay Baruchel, and so I think Craig Robinson, Seth Rogen. Who else is it? I'm missing somebody.
James Franco.
Yeah, James Franco. Like all of those guys. Yeah. Yep. They got a group. And well, at the time they had this group, and the group was supposed to be like, well, what's his name? He from Saturday Night Live too. That was in not Wedding Crashers. He was in Role Models.
Jason Segel?
No, not Jason. Jason Segel is a part of it, but not Jason Segel. Damn.
Oh, dude, he used to play Stifler.
No, not him. The other one. Not him. The other one.
Oh shoot. Jonah Hill.
Who?
Jonah Hill.
Nope, not Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill is a part of it too. Not Jonah Hill. Oh my God, hold on. I'm about to tell you. But Jonah Hill is a part of it. The dude that was in Juno, he's a part of it.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Yep, Paul Rudd. The dude that was in Jonah Hill. Like they had a whole group where basically whenever they made movies, like those were the people that they would cast. And they had a article in I want to say like 2010 or 2011. In either Vanity Fair or Variety, one of them, where they were talking about like they classified themselves as like the Rat Pack. They were saying like they're the Rat Pack of comedy movies or whatever. And Danny McBride, he was the last one to join the group because he was like a new actor. Like he had did some like some extra work here and there or whatever. But this was his first movie. This was his very first movie. So he didn't do well. His first movie as an actual being casted. So he was saying how when he had did this, he didn't have any direction. So everything he did is improv. Everything you see except for his lines are just strictly improv. So his original part is when he is in the lookout booth. And he talking, he got the two people, the two Vietnamese dudes behind him, and he like, yeah, they something, they ready to milk this bitch. That's all improv. His only lines was, hey Damien, are you ready to blow? That's all it was. That's all them his only lines in the movie, and the rest of it he just improv. And they said they was telling him he was so good that they was keeping him in this movie. So when the one part where he got the C4 set up in the forest or in the jungle or whatever, and they shooting everything, and then Tug throw the grenade, and then he be like, should I blow it? And then dude be like, blow it. He be like, big old titties, and he hit the thing and it blow up. That's all improv. So everything outside of him asking Damien, do you want me to blow it for the Jets, is all improv, bro. So that's how good of an actor, a comedic actor, Danny McBride is. That was one of my favorite parts about this too. Like him being in there amongst like people that he was cool with, and then actually getting to see his first time being in a movie and getting as much airtime as he did in the movie. I thought that was good because it was definitely worth every scene.
Yeah, he killed that, man. That must say, he said, man, give me some Americans though. He said, man, that back here knitting a sweater.
Bro, hilarious. When that motherfucker found out, that fucking 4-leaf tape had hands, bro, that shit was comedy. He said, oh, what the fuck? That shit had me fucking crying, bro. That shit was the greatest shit ever, bro.
Oh man, yo, there's so many funny things in this movie, man. And this is like really the first time I personally seen like Tom Cruise cut loose.
Oh my god,
seen Tom Cruise like this before.
Oh my gosh,
you have that bodysuit on and have the Paul Feinbaum. Hey, man,
bro, let me tell you something. I felt like after watching this, I felt like Tom Cruise should have been in a lot more comedy movies. He should have did a lot more comedic roles because this shit, bro, as Les Grossman was fucking hell. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey.
How could I forget about Mr. All Right.
Brian TiVo.
Yeah, man, come on, brother. TiVo was everything. He didn't really get fired. Okay, but you're right. Tom Cruise is Les Grossman, bro. First off. Nigga, when he was on the video chat thing, and they were talking about the FaceTime, bro, that nigga said, hey, who's the key grip? And he pointed to the dude, he was like, hey, I want you to go over there. I want you to punch him in the face real hard. That motherfucker said, I'm sorry, man. Wow. He said, that shit had me fucking crying, bro. Like, yeah, Tom Cruise did a hell of a job in it. It's hard not to like this movie, bro. It's really hard not to like this movie. It's so many people, especially like getting a guy like Tom Cruise and having him out of his wheelhouse. Because like we used to Tom Cruise being in a romantic comedy or a drama or an action movie, but him being the fucking comedy in this shit, bro. You got to give Tom Cruise the flowers. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I can't stand Tom Cruise.
Man, you want to know who Tom Cruise kind of reminded me of in this movie? You remember how in Horrible Bosses, the first one, how Colin Farrell was
man. Yeah.
He reminded me of that guy.
Yeah.
But no, Tom Cruise, like he killed that shit, man. Like, and then he was all about that Ludacris song.
Oh, that shit was funny. That shit was funny.
But it's just funny to see him. First of all, to see him in a bodysuit.
Yes.
With the Paul Fine bomb.
Yes.
To take that
it's a full bodysuit. It ain't just the torso. Oh, yeah. It's the full bodysuit.
Yeah. So he put on the suit put him on about 20 or 30 extra pounds.
Nah, that shit had to be like 50, 60. That shit had to be like 50, 60.
So it's already funny just seeing him. Because a lot of the times, like I've never seen, like Tom Cruise isn't an actor that either gains or really lose weight for any film. I've never seen him ever do that. He usually always got the same look, crew cut. I might have seen him in one movie where he had long hair. He might have had long hair in like one movie or some shit. But he always really looked the same. And to see him, and then he had like a goatee and shit. Oh, no, it was a beard. It was a beard.
Yeah, he had a full beard with the glasses.
So that's the first thing that made it funny when he first popped up on screen and you realize that was actually Tom Cruise.
Right.
But to take it to that level, and I think that to me, it kind of seems like I think the suit and the prosthetics kind of gave him that different thing of like, all right, I'm not me. I don't look like me.
Right.
I could be a little bit more freer. I could be a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? I felt like he felt a little bit more free with having the bodysuit on and all that type stuff. But you know, he killed that shit. That shit was funny, but and then he taught Matthew McConaughey, and then one said we don't negotiate with terrorists.
Oh man, bro, when you talking about you think this dude is about to have your back. You think this dude is about to hold you down, and he answered that phone, bro, and he said, well, you go and fuck yourself, and hung up. That nigga Matthew McConaughey looked up like, what the fuck was that? He was like, what the fuck is going on, man? We don't negotiate with terrorists. Everybody started clapping. He was like, hey, man, what the fuck? You fucked me on this shit, bro. No, that was fucking hilarious, bro. Just the fact that like even Bill Hader had me fucking rolling in that shit, bro. With him like just being the yes man in the whole shit.
Yes man. Oh
bro,
man.
You talking about comedy, bro. When that motherfucker was like, he said, the director dude, bro, that nigga said, I'm working with a bunch of prima donnas, a bunch of clowns. He said, you want to know how you deal with prima donnas? He said, you put her pants down and you spank their ass. That nigga Bill Hader said, yeah, that's right. Spank that ass, Les. The director said, what? Like, hey, bro. Oh, no. Wait a minute. First off. So after he get this speech, this nigga just go full, hey, I'm the director. I'm in charge of this shit. Let's go ahead and let's take this shit to the next level. Bro, they go and land these niggas in the middle of nowhere. This nigga walk, he gave them this great speech. He like, yeah, y'all ready? They like, yeah. Man, that nigga take a step and get blown up. Fucking hilarious. This nigga said, this is the only way out. I got this radio. He said, we can't get out no other way. He said, and the only time we can get out is when I message this radio. He said, and you message this radio when you guys get to me. For the step and blew up, and them niggas was like, Okay. Hey, that nigga Kurt said, this ain't no goddamn regular brother circus. He said, yeah, man. He said he wanted to play God. He said he wanted to show us. He said he wanted to play God and show us something. He said, no, he out there praying to God. He said, no. He said, no. He said, no. He's talking about meeting God. He said, meet God. He said, God is judging them right now. He said, what he's dead. He said, that's his head, bro. That motherfucker picked that nigga head up and was like,
Yo, that shit was disgusting.
Hey, bro.
And then he jammed that motherfucker on his gun.
Oh,
hey,
my God.
Hey, and then the real Vietnamese people looking at him like, yo, he said, they're not afraid of death.
Hey, that nigga Robert Downey Jr., bro. That nigga realized all that shit. He was like, nigga, this is real. Okay, this is not fake, nigga. There's no way that nigga just disappeared like that, nigga. There ain't no movie doing that shit. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. That nigga told that man, that nigga said, hey, he said, I want to let you know. He said, this motherfucker think we still in the movie. He said, if I get this map, he said, you think you can get us out of here? And he said, yeah. He was like, all right, good talk. No, that nigga Tug came up to him and said, yeah, Kirk think I can't make this movie. He was like, but we're gonna show him, right? He was like, yeah. He was like, you think I get the map? Mm-mm. The map stays with me. He was like, but he was like, I'll make sure you get I got a new movie coming up. I'll make sure you get it rolling and maybe you could see it, get a Teen Choice Award. Yeah, that's what I see for you. He was like, good talk. And smack that nigga on the ass, bro. I'm like, hey, man, fuck that. Get that map. No, bro. You talking about funny. When that nigga walked up to that nigga and said, man, you seen Rambo 1? He said, remember when Stallone was all nice in Rambo 1 and then Rambo 2, he looked all ripped up? He said, yeah. He said, yeah, that's how you looking, man. He was like, yeah. He was like, you look real good right now. He was like, man, I wish I could look that good. He was like, give me some tips. He said, what? He said, give me some tips. He was like, well, I mean, you know, you got to die. He was like, diet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He said, motherfucking map from that nigga. He was like, I knew it was bullshit. Oh, my God. That shit was funny as a motherfucker, bro. He was not playing with that nigga, bro. That nigga Kirk did not fuck with that nigga, man.
What was funny when he was trying to tell him, he was like, man, he said, man, it's not a movie. This stuff is real. He said, well, why you still in character?
Oh, no.
He said, I don't know.
Bro, everything they threw at Kirk, bro, he threw back at him. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. He said, why you still in character? I don't know. He was like, yeah, you don't know. I know. He said, I know, but I'm not going to tell you. He was like, yeah, you don't know. He said, you don't know. I think Brandon C. Jackson, when they was doing the scope out, and I was watching that nigga perform the play when he got caught. That nigga said, hey man, I want to apologize to you. He said anything that, you know what I'm saying, anything I made you feel offended, man, I wasn't trying to do that. He said, so why the fuck you still in character? He was like, I ain't gonna tell you. He said, I can't tell you. He said, yeah, I can't tell you. All this sucking and diving shit. He was like, man, you should be ashamed of yourself. He was like, huh? That nigga was not playing no game, bro.
That shit was so funny. And that's like the inside joke of the whole movie is the fact that he knows that, yo, this shit ain't a movie no more.
He's still playing that shit, bro, the whole time. Bro, when that nigga said, that nigga Tug turned it around on him after he got caught. That nigga said, you don't know who you are. He said, you don't know who you are. He said, he said, I do know who I am. He said, who are you? He said, I'm a dude that's playing. And he said, I'm a dude that's playing a dude. No, he said, I'm a dude disguised as a dude that's playing a dude that's playing another dude. He was like, Jay Michelle was like, what? No, that's what he said. I'm a dude that's playing a dude that's disguised as another dude. That shit was funny. No, bro. When that nigga finally got when Tug slapped him and that nigga was breaking down. He was taking all this shit off, and he was breaking down into all the different actresses he was. He said, "I'm not." He said, I'm not Osiris Jackson. And that nigga said, he said, I'm not Father of Army. He took that shit out. He was like, I'm not. What was the nigga that went to space? He said, I'm not, fuck, what did he say, Ray? He said, I'm not, oh my God, what is the nigga that went to space? Went to the moon, bro? He said that. And he said his name, but he had a southern accent. And that nigga, he finally started speaking his Australian accent. He said, man, you got really hard insecure. Hey, bro, that shit was funny, no motherfucker, man. But I'm gonna tell you what was even funnier. I don't know if you peeped this stuff.
Okay.
When he finally got back to being Kirk Lazarus, if you notice, remember when they was getting on the helicopter? This nigga was going in and out of Osiris Jackson and Kirk Lazarus the whole time. Like he was, whenever he got mad, he was Osiris Jackson. Throughout the rest of the shit, he was Kirk Lazarus. That shit was funny as fuck. That nigga said, we got to hurry up and go, mate. He said, we got to hurry up and go, mate. And the nigga said something. He said, he's a moving for the bird. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. That shit had me fucking crying, bro. Hey, man, when I tell you hit the nail on the head, bro, Robert Downey Jr., man, when I tell you, bro, this was the one. This is the fucking one. Iron Man, get that shit out of here. All the rest of that shit, get that shit out of here. Tropic Thunder.
Well, okay.
His shit.
It is. Now, he did deserve. So if I'm not mistaken, Oppenheimer is his first Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. So now, killed that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was so believable. And the other thing that was great about Oppenheimer when he played in that was the fact of, at the time, because my opinion, it felt like once he started Iron Man, it seemed like everything he done, like you see like Iron Man in him.
You see Tony Stark, yeah.
Yeah, and so like, even he did this one movie I've been trying to get you to watch for years.
Mm-hmm.
Is a movie called The Judge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where Robert Duvall plays his dad or whatever.
Right.
And like even like moments, it's like that's fucking Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? It's like Oppenheimer, like he was completely like an actor in that shit. Not that he wasn't earlier, but
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but I see what you said. Like as far as an overall performance, like the Oppenheimer's the one, but like this one, like the comedic performance that he put on in Tropic Thunder, oh man, this shit is top notch. For him not to be a comedian, Jack Black is the comedian, but Jack Black also like the person that he played in the movie is the person that he always is. He just goofy. I don't know, man. I think Jack Black. I think he was just goofy in this movie, man. It was like all it was. This was a different tier of goofy for Jack Black, because this one was like it was like dumb goofy. Yeah. And then they tried to basically do the clumps over again. Like that's all that was. That's why I thought that was funny, because but no, like this was the role he played in this one was dumb goofy. Like any other role that you see Jack Black in is just straight goofy. It's just like a goofball type dude who he at the end of it all, he's gonna end up on top of it all, right? With Jack Black, like he didn't end up on top of this. I felt like Jack Black might have been like the worst performance in the film. He definitely was. Yeah, I didn't really mess with Jack Black's character.
in this one because he was technically like the role he was playing was drug addict.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the type of drugs that you expect. Like I feel like they had so he was on heroin, and I feel like he shouldn't have been on heroin. He should have been on like psychedelics, and then it would have made sense for him to be acting the way he's acting.
I see what you're saying.
Because heroin addicts don't act like that.
Because he was a fiend, bro. It was just like one.
He was too energetic.
Yeah, and then like that bird, yo. For a bird to come steal your drugs, bro.
No, it was a bat.
Oh, it was a bat. And he bit that motherfucker.
Bro, he chewed the bat, bro. Then wait, the funny part, I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if you caught this. Bro, when he threw the bat, it hit Brandon T. Jackson in the nuts.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bro, and then he picked it up and threw it at him again. Bro, that shit was funny than a motherfucker, bro. But yeah, I didn't really like Brandon T. Jack. I mean, not Brandon. I'm sorry. I didn't like Jack Black's character too much because I felt like they could have did a better job of him playing that role. The one part I did think was funny, and it was the highlight of his character, was when he was tied to the tree. That shit was funny as fuck. When that nigga said, "Your mom is a cankerous whore." And he was like, "Hey, come on, man." He was like, "Hey, remember that time a while back when I said your mom was a cankerous whore? I didn't mean that shit, man." He just said it. Like, nigga, when the time, that was a while back, nigga, he just literally said that shit. That shit was funny as fuck. And then he walked up to him at the beginning. He said, "Man, you got to tie me to a tree." He said, "Because if I go in there, man," he said, "I'm going to do all the drugs." He said, "I'm going to lose myself." He tied the nigga to a tree. He was like, hey, man, I'm done. I'm good. I'm over it. And they kept telling the nigga, "Yeah, I just gotta fight through it." That shit was funny as fuck, bro. I thought that part was his highlight in the film.
It was.
Well, it was one of his highlights in the film because the second highlight in the film is when he fought Tran, the little boy, the leader. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. This nigga was getting his ass whooped. I'm talking about he was getting his ass smoked. And then he finally said, "Ah!" and then tackled that nigga and landed on him. And he passed out. That shit was funny as fuck, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's what I expected. But you were trying to make a point about Robert Downey Jr. though, and I had.
Oh no, Robert Downey Jr. Man. Like I said, I feel like with the Iron Man role, he was just kind of playing himself. Or like playing like his base actor or whatever. As far as just like every role you see Robert Downey Jr. in, like even if you go back to the Sherlock Holmes roles, like he's the Tony Stark thing and all that, like the snobby, sarcastic, quick-witted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like Sherlock Holmes is that. Tony Stark's is that. Like everything he's played within that time span is just that. So I feel like him playing in Tropic Thunder, it gave him a way to not necessarily play well, because technically he still was that, but it was a way to give it a different look, like give it a different feel, give it a whole different vibe. Because if you watch this and you've never seen Robert Downey Jr. before, you know that's not a black dude, but you kind of feel like it's a black dude. Like listening to it, you would think it was a black dude. Looking at it, you'd be like, he might be a light-skinned dude that they, you know what I'm saying, like browned him up a little bit. But then like seeing him, you know, okay, that's a white man. But the way that he played this was just so great that you just kind of got to be like, you know what? He killed this shit, bro. He killed it. Especially seeing everything he does after that. Like I feel like this was Oscar worthy. Like best comedic performance. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. for sure, easily.
Yeah, but then and like the whole conversation that him and Brandon T. Jackson had, where he was like, "Well, why are you here?" He said, "Because they had you in here playing a black man, and like like something about like I had to keep an eye on you." So there was some shit I'm trying to say, but like if he would, I bring that up to say if he would have won for best comedic actor, even in 2008, it would have been some problem. Like,
well, I mean, he did get best performance in a supporting role. He got nominated for it.
Okay, Because I just feel like some people would be like, okay, like for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the reason it's so funny is because we know who Robert Downey. Okay, right. So it's a lot of things on top of one thing. So like we all know that it's Robert Downey Jr. So it makes it funny hearing him trying to entertain a black man and all this type stuff, right? So that's one layer of it. But also, like the other layer on top of that is the fact of like he is playing the character like throughout the whole movie. And the reason I bring it up is because like you're starting to see a lot of stuff. Like, great example. So Scarlett Johansson was supposed to do a movie, where she was playing. I think she was supposed to be playing a transgender, if I'm not mistaken. And they end up pulling her out the movie. They just didn't do the movie.
Yeah, that's not.
So then, like, so basically, and then we're entering a time where people are like, we want to be represented by the, you know what I'm saying? Like, so now it's like, if there's going to be a transgender role, they want a real transgender.
Yeah, an actual transgender,
if it's, you know, a gay person, they wanted to actually be a gay person now.
Right.
So if Robert Downey Jr. would have won imitating a black man, then you're going to hear people say, oh, well, if you would have just put a real black dude there, then it would have been, but I don't think it would have been the same.
No, it would be the same. And the only reason I think that it works in this is because you have Brandon T. Jackson in the film. I don't think this works without Brandon T. Jackson. And that's a very big nod to Brandon T. Jackson. Because excuse me. Because I think the whole point of him and Brandon T. Jackson going back and forth is the fact that he's this Australian white character that's playing this black guy, right? And it's not a modern day black guy. It's like this black exploitation black guy. Like even the part where he's like, yeah, I could call up some of them greens and scramble up some crawfish, and then we got some butterbean pie. He's like, yeah, man, I was motherfucking sucking the job and you doing this shit. Some of them crawfish, son. Yes, sir. And then all the slave shit you do. Like the whole time, T. Jackson's calling that shit out in the film, which makes it that much funnier. Because he's never breaking character. Like, even though Brandon T. Jackson is calling this nigga out, he's not breaking character. Even to the point where he slapped Brandon T. Jackson. And Brandon T. Jackson be like, man, I'm sick of this motherfucking kangaroo jack fucking hopping, triple the boy ass nigga. And then he smack him and then he catches his fist and hug him and start doing fucking Jefferson shit. You know what I'm saying? we got that D-Love's apartment in the sky. And it's our turn it back. That nigga backed up. Man, that's the motherfucking Jefferson theme song. Just because the theme song don't mean it ain't true. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like it makes it that much funnier because you got an actual black dude there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the comedic effect of it. So like having a whole black dude doing that part, it don't make it that funny.
Exactly, and that's exactly how I feel. Because I think that's what makes it funny. Because if it was two black people, it would have been just a dude trying to talk like he's in the 60s. Right. So it's just like, all right, that shit really ain't that funny. Exactly. And then, but that scene that you just brought up, it's not gonna work. Like that scene doesn't work.
Yeah, because it's like it's a black dude doing it. It's like, all right, man. See, it's a difference. This is the thing, right? When Robert Downey Jr. does it, and that's why I mentioned earlier, like it's not an offensive thing. Like maybe the blackface part in general is offensive because of what what we've gone through as black people and had to wear blackface, and because we weren't allowed on TV and films and stuff like that. That part might be offensive for sure. I'm not going to deny that. But what makes it non-offensive is the fact that he's not really doing anything that's offensive while he's like that, right? Like he ain't eating a bunch of fucking watermelon. He ain't eating a whole bunch of chicken. He ain't drinking a 40. You know, he ain't talking about some hoes. He ain't doing nothing. He's not doing nothing offensive. It's just the language that he's using. Like, for instance, like he'd be saying so yo, and it'd be like, nigga, they didn't say yo during Nam. Like, that wasn't the word that they used during Nam. That's what made it funny. Because, like, he's trying to find the language of the character, but he fucking the language up the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what also makes it funny.
And it also adds a layer to it is the fact that they say he's an Australian actor. So he didn't even grow up in America.
Exactly. So he just getting off of what he's seen on film.
Exactly. So it seems like he just watched a whole bunch of black exploitation films.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so the fact that he's the Australian actor, because now I remember the dude's name. So when he's breaking down the characters, right? So he go from, first off, the nigga's name is Osiris Jackson. There's no black dude named Osiris. Stop it. That's an Egyptian god. We get it. No, there's no black dude named Osiris. Then it's Father O'Malley. That's racist in itself, because Father O'Malley, come on, that's a common, you know what I'm saying, Irish last name. And then he goes to Neil Armstrong, but he got the southern accent for Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong was from Ohio. Like, he had a southern accent. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the shit that I'm talking about. Like, that's why I say, like, this shit, it made it funny, because, like, they made fun of everybody. Even the people that were Asian in the movie, the accents that they used. First off, they was in Vietnam and Laos and Myanmar or whatever. This nigga said they speak Chinese. He said Chinese. He said, how you know? He said, because I had to do this movie where I had to stay in something for 6 months or whatever. And he's speaking Mandarin Chinese to Vietnamese people. Nigga, that itself is already fucking funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the shit I'm talking about. Like, the purpose of this movie, was just some straight funny shit. Like, even the fact that where, like, Ben Stiller, like, is this failing, or not failing, but he's this action actor who's falling off. On the decline, yep. And so he's doing this thing, and then he has this big ass not promotion. It's this big ass like campaign where it's like save the pandas, and then he in the fucking jungle and he getting too into the fucking the road, and the next thing you know, he sees some shit going through the jungle, and then he get attacked, and when he kill it, it's a fucking panda. Like, like that's the head on his head. He called that nigga. He said, I did it, man. I did it. I killed a panda. He said, whoa, wait a minute, man. If you kill a prostitute, just go ahead. We go ahead. Everybody said, first thing you're going to need. He says, you're going to need some hydrogen peroxide. You're going to need bleach. And you're going to need la-la. He said, no. I killed a panda. He said, Amanda. He said, that's not even a real name.
Hey, whatever.
Oh my gosh. Hey man, Matthew McConaughey, bro. He gotta get his flowers too. He gotta get his flowers too, bro. Because he did a hell of a job being funny in this shit too, bro. When that motherfucker said, "Hey man, did you get your TiVo?" He said, "TiVo, I don't give a fuck about no TiVo right now. I'm in the shit." That nigga said, "You know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna make sure they get your TiVo." You gonna come on that nigga? He said, "Hey." He said, Tuxter. And he said, don't fire me. And he put that jacket on. He said, I want to know why you didn't get my client his digital recording device where he's at on set. That motherfucker said, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna rip your dick off and shove it up your ass. He said, no, not you. He said, not you, Leslie. He said, I'm going to rip your tits off if you don't get that movie in the theaters like I told you to. But that shit was fucking crazy. And the dude called him Oh, speaking of, I got to talk about dude too. But old dude called him. He said, "This is the Flaming Dragon, and we got Simple Jack, but we want 50 million." He said, "Hey, I don't know who the fuck you are, or who your little fucking." He said, "I don't know who the fuck you are, or who your little agency is, but you're not gonna do anything with my client. I'm gonna keep my client." And he gave that shit to fucking Tom Cruise. Let me tell you something. He said, "I don't give a fuck about who you are, or where you from." He said, "I will fuck your shit up." That motherfucker went back, bro. That motherfucker looking at that phone like, what the fuck? That shit was funny as hell, man. But the dude,
no, you said the part where he said, when he was like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you. I hung up the phone. He said, find out who that was.
He said, find out who right now. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. But the dude that played that role, bro, his name is Reggie Lee. When that motherfucker, man, when I tell you, he deserved to get a lot more roles in comedy movies because he is funny as fuck. He played in I gotta find him real quick. Hold on. But he played in another movie, man. He's been in a bunch of different films, but
yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah, no, you've seen him a lot, bro. He's been in he's in The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix.
Yep, I fuck with The Lincoln Lawyer.
He was in
Sweet Girl. We did Sweet Girl.
Yep, he was in Sweet Girl. He was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was in oh my goodness, he was in Grimm. He was in Here Comes the Boom. He was in The Dark Knight. I seen him as Tafe.
That's where I remember him from. He was a cop. He was a cop in Dark Knight.
He was in Star Trek. He was in Drag Me to Hell. Like he was in Pirates of the Caribbean. Prison Break. Like he's been in a lot of shit, bro. But when I tell you, bro, like as far as comedy goes, he should have been in a lot more comedy films, bro, because he is fucking hilarious. Like, dude kills, bro. Like, when he was doing that shit, he was talking about, we want 50 million or we kill him tomorrow. And that motherfucker was like, you can do that. That nigga was looking back at the phone like that, bro. That shit had me fucking crying, bro. Like, he did a great job in that part, man. He did a real good job in that part. Shout out to Reggie Lee, man. We need more of him in films, especially comedy films. I think he deserves a lot more comedy films, man. Who else did we miss? We talked about Brandon T. Jackson. We pretty much talked about everybody.
Okay, so one thing before we get out of here. So 4-leaf Tay-back, right? Mm-hmm. So when him and Danny McBride was tied up, and so they were talking about the book and shit. Then he found out that he said I was in the war, but I was in sanitation.
Oh man, that nigga said you were nothing but a janitor. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. When that motherfucker asked him, he said, yeah. He said, what kind of gun is that? He said, I don't know what it's called. I only know what the sound it makes when it kills people. That nigga Danny McBride said, okay. That nigga was not with shit, bro.
He said you ain't do that McQueen shit. Hey, boy,
that motherfucker Danny McBride hit him in the flamethrower. He said, what is this? He said, I don't know what it's called. I only know what the sound of it makes when it tells me lies. That nigga was hurt, bro. He was so hurt. He said, I can't believe I believed in you. You were my hero.
Oh man.
Hey man, that shit was funny as fuck, bro. That nigga took his motherfucking hooks off and said, what the fuck? He said, you got hands? He said, hey, I don't know. He was like, I don't know. That nigga hands popped up like that, bro. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. Oh my goodness. That shit was so fucking funny, bro. Shout out to Nick Nolte, man. Also, man, shout out to fucking Amy Stiller. I didn't know Amy Stiller was in this film, bro. You know, that's That is Ben Stiller's older sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was in this film as well, man. She did a she was the who was she? Who was she? Who was she? The she was a script supervisor. So she was on set doing her thing, man. Like I said, Bill Hader, bro. You talking about comedy? Bill Hader was fucking funny as usual. Uh, we did Nick Nolte. Let's see who else is in here. Oh, Maria Menounos, shout out to her. Everybody might know her from the E channel Extra. She's been in pretty much everything as far as movies. Christine Taylor, she was in there doing the guest spot for the Simple Jack movie. Tyra Banks was in there, where she was interviewing Tug Speedman. Yvette Nicole Brown, she was in there as the assistant. Shout out to her. Who else is in here? Man, John Voight, Jennifer Love Hewitt, they made
Guest appearances. Yeah.
some guest
That was at the
appearances.
Oscar
Lance
joint.
Bass, Alicia Silverstone, they were all in there too towards the end of it. Like this is just an all around just good ass comedy movie, man. To me, this is where like comedy was at its precipice, bro. Where it was just like everything about comedy movies was just everything about it was funny. Even down like to the smallest details, just everything was just fucking funny about this film. And I just man, this is like I said, this is one of the most underappreciated films, bro.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
All right, man. So let's get into it. We go into the Fire Flames. What are you rating this joint?
All right, man. So look, we done went over the cast. You just rattled a lot of names, so there's no reason to go back there. As far as the comedy scale, man, where I put this movie, man, I'm going to give this movie a 4.5, man. It was just, I forgot how funny it was because it's certain scenes that I remember, even though for me, not saying that other people didn't have memorable moments, but when you stacking up those memorable moments and those quotables, 90% of them fall on the Robert Downey Jr., man.
Absolutely.
But nah, man, I'm definitely giving this movie a 4.5, man.
That's what's up, man. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm going 4.5 as well. Quotables are definitely in this movie. Robert Downey Jr. stole the fucking show. Really, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if you ever had the DVD of this, but if you ever had the DVD of this and they had like the deleted scenes, there's a deleted scene where it's just Kirk Lazarus as Osiris Jackson, and he has a whole family. He has a whole family in Vietnam that he stays there. He's making a family with, and this nigga is this nigga is literally acting like the dude from Nam. So like he talk like they doing like the interview for him and shit. And this nigga is sitting there. He had the thing. He talking about his sons, but they not his sons. They the lady sons that he was messing with. They all his family is Vietnamese except him. So he talking about I had to stay here after the war. I fell in love and I didn't want to leave nowhere. And so he stayed there or whatever, and then like the two sons, so they interviewed one of the sons. He was like, "Yeah, my dad is, he's kind of crazy. He does like all kind of weird stuff during the day. He's I don't know if he's like, all the way there." And they show him as the son talking, they show Robert Downey Jr. behind the couch and he got the gun, and then the wife walk out. He's like, "Free!" He's like, "What you doing?" He just said a whole bunch of crazy shit, bro. That shit was funny as fuck, man. But nah, I'm giving this a 4.5. Like this movie, man. You hit the nail on the head earlier when you said that Ben Stiller movies should definitely be able to be made nowadays. Like you said, Dodgeball, Tropic Thunder, Zoolander, like those type of movies, man. I feel like there should be some type of space for those movies to be made today. I feel like we really missing a lot not having those type of movies out right now. We're missing a lot in the comedy realm because of everything that's going on right now.
Agree, 100%.
And so let's get into coming soon.
Let's do it.
All right, so on the next episode we have Woman of the Hour. I said I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, so Woman of the Hour, man, Netflix movie, man. Go out and watch it. This is Anna Kendrick, she stars in it, but this is also the first movie she directed. And it's just, based on a true story, man. About this dude that was out here strangling women, man. And we also got to talk about, man, how crazy the 70s was, man. Okay.
Facts.
Like, motherfuckers, people were just killing people. Like,
Yes.
and just getting away with it. Like,
yes.
Like, so, nah, but this, what makes this one interesting is that, I mean, the guy ended up being on a fucking dating show and winning on the dating show. So, so I think it's a very interesting topic to cover, and I also think it's some things around it that'll be a good conversation to have as well.
Absolutely, man. So you guys make sure you tune in with us. Make sure you stick around. Make sure if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. I believe it's on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix.
All right, so yeah, watch that on Netflix, man. Woman of the Hour. And if you enjoyed this episode, if you like this episode, make sure you let us know. Hit us up on socials. You can find me at Schools Bronson. I have a link tree in my bio. I'm on X or Twitter. You can find me everywhere else there. Hit me up.
And y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Follow the podcast 28 minutes or less. Put out a new episode. I know I put it out kind of fast because I watched all 8 episodes, but I put it out on Cross. It was episode, I think, 160, if I'm not mistaken. But go check it out on all major platforms.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. As always, your support is greatly appreciated. There could be no us without you. And until the next episode, man, like they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.